women don't actually care about you. And it's just a fact of female nature that you guys are going to just have to accept. Okay? It doesn't mean to hate them for it. It doesn't mean to start getting bitter or angry towards them for it. It's just something you have to accept. It's like if you're out and a bee decided to sting you, would you get mad at the bee for stinging you? No, you would just, it might annoy you, right? But you would just accept the fact that, hey, that's what bees do. Notice how it's only the female bees that sting. It's pretty interesting, right? But you just have to accept it's part of female nature that they don't actually care about you. Okay, women don't care about you. Women don't care about us, guys. That's the way it is. At the end of the day, they only care about themselves. That's what hypergamy is. That's how it's designed to work. Women don't actually care about you. They care about their own needs being met. They care about their own survival. So your girlfriend or your wife, if you think that she cares about all of the emotional investment that you have put into your relationship with her, if you think that she cares how much time you've spent with her, how many years you've stayed together, how much money you've spent on her, she just doesn't care about these things. Okay, that's not how hypergamy works. All she cares about is constantly seeking out the highest value male. At the end of the day, that's what she wants. And like Chris Rock says, when your woman's giving you that look, and it's a little bit of a dirty look or a resentful look or a passive aggressive look, it's because she knows that you were not her first choice, right? She just knows you weren't her first choice. The overwhelming majority of women out there, they are hypergamous and they don't actually care about you, and they do only care about what you can do for them. Right? The value you can provide, the stimulation you can provide in her life. It's almost like you're an entertainer, right? You have to keep her happy at all times. It's all about her. It's a hard pill to swallow, guys. I know. All right. Don't click off this video and immediately get mad at your girl. Don't blame her. Again, it's like, don't blame the bee for stinging you. It's just accept it's part of female nature. Think about all those ex-girlfriends you've had and all those relationships that ended where you invested years of your life with this woman. You emotionally invested in her. You were monogamous. You were faithful to her. You dedicated your life to this woman. You built your life around her. You thought she was your best friend. And then one day, out of nowhere, she just gets up and leaves. She leaves you, or she just gets up and cheats on you. You find out that she's having sex with another guy. Just out of nowhere, suddenly, and it hits you, boom, like a ton of bricks. Or as I always like to say, it's like hitting a brick wall at 100 miles per hour, right? With no seatbelts and no airbags. Just bam, out of nowhere. And you're just shell-shocked, right? And you're like, how could she do this to me? Oh my gosh, I thought she was my best friend. I thought, we loved each other. What about all these trips we took together? What about that house we bought together? What about that time that, we went to Paris together? And, that time we celebrated Christmas together with our families? How could she do this to me? Because at the end of the day, she doesn't care about you. They don't care about us, guys. Okay? It's not just you. It's all of us as men. Women do not care about us. We are expendable to them. Look at what's going on with the feminist movement. All these male tools that they're using are happy to be used as tools because they think at the end of the tunnel they're going to get sex, which they're not, right? They're just being used. Because as soon as these women are done using these men to advance their agenda, these guys will be disposed too. Unfortunately, most of them will never learn their lesson. They will be ready to jump onto the next bandwagon to help women further their agenda and just feed them more power. Okay, never realizing at the end of the day that they just use us, right? They just use us. I mean, look at Instagram. Look at all the girls taking selfies and just, you're there liking all her photos. And you see all of these thirsty beta males dropping hundreds, even thousands of comments and just validating the shit out of this girl. And she never replies. And she never has any intention of replying or ever meeting any of these guys in real life. Why does she do that? She's doing that because you're supplying something to her. You're offering her some value, which is validation. That's what girls love. Women are natural attention whores. These girls are just using you. They're using you for attention. They're using you for validation. Okay, that's it. At the end of the day, she does not care about you. This includes your girl and your wife. She likely does not care about you specifically. She cares about what you can do for her and what you are doing for her. Whatever value you happen to be providing at the time, at the current moment, whatever value you happen to be providing, whether it be financial value, you might be taking care of the kids while she's at work, you know, you might be giving her sexual gratification. You're providing some value in her life to where you're keeping her around. And that's why they have this saying that, hey, you don't own these girls, it's just your turn, right? Especially with hot girls. Girls who are 8s, 9s, and 10s, the hottest women on the planet. You do not own these women, they are community property. Okay? You don't own these girls, they're community property, it's just your turn. So enjoy your turn, and then, you know, soon enough it will not be your turn anymore. They're community property. And then when these girls get in their 30s, when they're no longer hot, they drop from like say a 9 to a 6 or a 7 because she's getting older. That is when you can marry that girl off. But once they go beyond the age of 30, most of them begin to lose their looks. A woman begins to lose her looks actually in her late 20s, around like 26, 27. She begins to lose her looks. So once she gets in her 30s, she is, for the most part, she's generally not an 8, 9, or 10 anymore. She's definitely not a 10. All right, you're not going to see any 30-year-old who's a 10. That's just reality. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Just reality. So that girl who was once a 10, you know, in her 30s, she could drop down to, you know, maybe like a 7 or a 6, and now she's no longer community property, and now you can go off and marry that girl, and she'll probably stay with you as long as you're one of the beta providers and provision for her financially. But that will be your shot. All those years that she used you as an emotional tampon, it will finally pay off when she's in her 30s and she's lost her looks and she's getting close to hitting the wall. That's when she will cash in her chips and she will be ready for a thirsty beta male like yourself, if you're one of those guys. Okay, but the alpha males who are actually like having fun with her and running a train on her and doing all sorts of crazy sexual shit in her 20s, those guys are just going to continue on dating the 20-year-olds. You know, those guys are not dumb enough to marry this girl once she's gotten off that cock carousel. They are not dumb enough to marry this girl in her 30s or 40s or 50s. And generally, it's the beta males who do that. Generally, it's the hater guys in my comment section who do that, right? You haters, don't worry. When you're in your 30s, you'll get that girl. Hypergamy doesn't care, okay? Hypergamy doesn't care about your feelings. Hypergamy doesn't care about your emotions. Hypergamy doesn't care about all those trips you took with her or all the money you invested in her or the car you bought her. Hypergamy doesn't care, okay? Because that same girl can leave you at the drop of a hat for a higher value male, a higher value guy. That's just how it works. If you're going to sit there and argue with me on this and be foolish enough to believe otherwise, that no, she can love me unconditionally. I know if the more I put into her, the more she'll love me, mister. Then you go do that. Okay, go do that. Don't waste your time dropping the hater comments in my down below if that's what you want to do. Just go do that and see how that turns out. Okay, see how that turns out for you. Let me know. This is why it is so important to red pill yourself, to go red pill and unplug from that blue pill matrix. Okay, because all of those old blue pill values and beliefs, they've never served you. Okay, you need to be honest with yourself. And this is for my haters too, who want to hate on me for what I'm teaching you guys. You know, those blue pill ideas that you're hanging on to and clinging on to, when have they ever served you? You know, and I'm being honest, I'm trying to help you. When have those beliefs ever served you? Okay, think about all the girlfriends you've had. Well, a lot of you guys are incels, but, you know, the few of you that have had girlfriends, think about how she left you, how she dumped you, how she didn't even care when she did that. And she just, like, left you for dead. You know, when have those blue pill idealisms ever served you properly? They haven't. They never have. For you guys, like, who are incels, who've never had a girlfriend, just think about all the girls that you're actually attracted to. How do they treat you? Right? They treat you like a little brother, don't they? They treat you like a little bitch, like a little girlfriend, don't they? They use you as an emotional tampon, don't they? You can't tell me otherwise. And here you are, you know, sitting here defending these women, these girls, the same girls who, like, are likely talking shit about you right now, telling their girlfriends how creepy you are and how they can't get rid of you. All right? Don't kid yourselves. This is why I always tell you guys, you have to go red pill. Okay? Because as long as you stay plugged into that blue pill Disney matrix where you were sold all these fantasies and all these, you know, all this bullshit growing up, as long as you hold on to that, you're just never going to be successful, not only with dating and women, but with life, with business. Okay, the more red pill I go, the better my life gets. You know, because at the end of the day, like I said, women do not care about you. They don't care about us as men. They care about themselves. I mean, everything. And the sad thing is, like, everything, everywhere you look in society today is designed to continue to fuel female hypergamy. Our entire society right now is designed to pedestalize women, right? It's designed to pedestalize women and actually fuel their hypergamy even more by tenfold, right? It's designed to help them continue to find and continue to chase after higher and higher value males. If a guy wants to have multiple girlfriends or multiple sexual partners, he's going to get shamed for that. But if a woman does that, it's like, oh, you go, girl. You're empowered. You are a strong, independent woman. So you have to understand, not only do women not care about us, but society does not care about us either. We are so disposable, it's insane that they don't really care about me at the end of the day. And I know that if a higher value male came along that they viewed as a higher value male with, you know, tens of millions of dollars in the bank, you know, who's like a professional athlete or something like that, I might be able to hold my own for a little while, but eventually she would take off. She would exercise her hypergamy and she would drop me. And all the time we spent together, all of those movies we watched together, and all of those dates we went on would not mean anything to her. Wouldn't mean a thing, you know. And I'm awake to that, as you should be too. Because when you find yourself in a situation where your girl like gets up and leaves one day just out of nowhere, it won't be as shocking to you, because you'll be like, okay, you know, it's part of female nature. It's like, if you're walking along and a bee happens to sting you, you know, it might annoy you a bit, but you won't crumble, you know, your world won't come crumbling down, and, you know, you won't want to put a rope around your neck, you know, wanting to end your life because of it. You'll just realize, okay, well, this is just part of female nature. In the same sense, no longer do I make any woman the center of my universe, you know, and you shouldn't. You just shouldn't, right? But we were never told these things growing up, were we? I mean, women are given all the support they need these days. Women are given all the support, all of the government programs, and all of the protection that a society could possibly give a woman. They have all that. Us as guys, we don't have any of that. Nobody cares about us. Nobody cares. Turn on your TV, watch these Hollywood movies, right? They're emasculating us. Everything's about hating men and making men look like buffoons, and, you know, taking away our male role models. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about us, especially women, and you have to understand that, you know. And I'm not saying that she doesn't care about you, like, at all. She doesn't care about you in the way you think she cares about you. She cares about you in a way where she cares about the value you bring into her life. Okay, I could say that a million times. That's what she cares about. She doesn't actually care about you. Sorry. Another red pill truth bomb dropped.